You're probably the hardest working person in your business. And that might be exactly what is holding you back. Most business owners I work with are sharp, they're driven, they're the first in, the last out, and they still are stuck at the same number year after year. And it's not because they're doing something wrong, it's because they're doing everything. And a business built around one person can only grow as far as that person can stretch. So today I'm going to show you the 5 things that scale your business. Because if you build around these instead of around yourself, the ceiling disappears. So let's get into it. Let's be honest about how most businesses start. In the early days, you have to wear all the hats. You are the engine making things move. You're the driver steering the vehicle, and you're the mechanic fixing the engine. And when it breaks down on the side of the highway, honestly, the hustle works in the beginning, but it's exactly how you get off the ground. But here's the trap. The exact same setup becomes a cage incredibly fast. You reach a point where you're working 14-hour days, putting out fires left and right, and you're wondering why your revenue has hit a brick wall. And the hard truth is that your business didn't stop growing. You became the lid or the cap on it. So if every decision, every client, every interaction, and every daily task has to pass through you, then your business can only grow to the exact limit of your personal time and energy. And you are only one person. So how do we break through the ceiling? You have to transition the business from being built around you to being built around a self-sustaining ecosystem. So here are the 5 things that actually scale. The first thing we have to do is fix the cognitive blueprint. Put simply, the mindset that built your business will not scale it. When you start out, you operate, you ask yourself, how do I get this specific task done? You focus on the execution, but to scale, you have to transition from an operator to a leader. Leaders don't ask how a task gets done. Leaders ask, who handles this and what ensures it gets done correctly without me? This isn't a skill problem. It's an identity problem. So most business owners never make this shift because frankly, being the best in the room feels really, really good. It feels amazing to be the hero who swoops in and saves the day when a client is upset or a problem arises. But that ego boost is costing you and your freedom and certainly the growth of your business. So until you stop seeing yourself as the worker bees and start seeing yourself as the architect designing the hive, the business will stay small. Your business grows at the speed you're willing to change. So once you change your mindset, you have to look at who is sitting at the table with you. And this is where a lot of well-meaning owners get tripped up. Most owners hire people they like instead of people who perform. Look, it's great to have a friendly workplace, but a team that gets along famously, but consistently fails to execute is just an expense. It's a comfortable club, and comfort is the absolute enemy of growth. Real leadership isn't about being liked by everyone at the water cooler. It's about building a culture where people know exactly what their role is, know what success looks like, and completely own the final results. The goal here is simple. You want a team that can make high-level decisions and solve complex problems without calling you on the cell phone first. If your team needs you to function, you don't have a team, you have dependence. Now, even the best team will fail if they don't have a roadmap to follow. And that brings us to our third element of the system here. If a process only works when you're standing over someone's shoulder watching them do it, it's not a process. It's just you doing the work at a different spot. Every single time you handle a task manually, whether it's onboarding a client, answering a frequently asked question, or running a report, when it could be documented, automated, or delegated, you're actively choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing to trade your scaling time for busy work. Systems create predictability. And predictability is the only thing that allows you to actually step back without worrying that the whole house of cards is going to collapse. So let's run a quick diagnostic test right now. Could your business run seamlessly for 2 weeks if you completely unplugged and went off the grid? If the answer is an immediate, anxiety-inducing no, that is your answer right there. That is your bottleneck. A business depends on you is a job. A business built on a system is an asset. The fourth thing we need is a mechanism that keeps people around. Most business owners are completely obsessed with top of the funnel marketing. They want more leads, more clients, more fresh blood. But if you look at the actual data, the math doesn't support that obsession. Here's what most people completely miss. Poor retention is rarely a marketing problem. It's an operational problem. It's what happens when your operations can't deliver consistent, high quality experience because you're too busy putting out fires elsewhere. When your systems are solid and your team is fully accountable, clients will stay with you. Not because you sent them a flashy loyalty program card, but because your business consistently delivers on its promises. Retention is just what good operations look like from your client's side of things. And finally, the fifth piece of the puzzle is an outside perspective. Most business owners are making their biggest, most expensive decisions completely alone in their own heads. They have no one to challenge their blind spots, no one asking the hard, uncomfortable questions. It's just them, their own internal assumptions, and whatever business article or book they happen to have read in the last few days. The fastest growing businesses I've ever seen aren't the ones with the absolute smartest or most charismatic owners. They're the ones with the clearest direction. Having total clarity on exactly what to work on, in what specific order, and why you are doing it, that is what separates owners who break through to that multi-million mark from the ones who just stay perpetually busy and stuck. The most expensive thing in your business isn't your overhead. It's your decisions you're making without the right perspective. So those are the 5 things that will actually help to scale your business. Notice that none of them involve you putting in more hours, drinking more coffee, or sacrificing your weekends. It's the mindset to lead, the team to execute, the systems to hold it all together, the clients to choose to stay, and the clarity to know exactly what to do next. That is what scales, not you alone. So here's why I know this works. My client Saul came in at about $250,000. He's pushing $1 million now and still climbing. Richard added $500,000 in revenue a single year, and Stacy shifted from owner to CEO and had her biggest revenue ever. These aren't outliers. They're what happens when you stop trying to scale yourself and start building something that scales without you. If you want to find out where your business actually stands, I do a complimentary business growth session. We look at where you're at, where you're trying to go, and what is in the way. What are the obstacles? The link is in the description. Apply, and let's get on the phone and talk.